Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Strap yourselves in, because I've been told to watch this series, and when I see Rogue, I know it's going to be a good one. Well, a guy who's been spamming Nidus Worms and Changelings at people, doing dirty builds, always a gambler. Never one to play safe. Rogue famous for being the player with the highest highs, winning multiple world-class tournaments, being a former world champion, and then every time he'd win a big premier event, he would lose in the first round of the next tournament, because he hadn't practiced since winning and he was too busy playing MapleStory. I don't know if that's fake news or not, or just a rumor, but absolutely a crazy player who just would, even against players he's massively favored against, he will just flip a coin to see if he can win or lose. Like, the man is actually a crazy person. He is, what's the guy in No Country for Old Men with like the cattle executey thing? And he flips the coin, except in this case, if it's not whether they live or die, it's whether he kills them or he kills himself. That's how Rogue plays. Like, is he gonna turn the thing up to his own head and set off that air pressure thingamajig, whatever it is? Great commentary, Pig. Great commentary. HonMono in the top. Now you might be wondering, why are we watching a game with HonMono? There's no way he's on the caliber of Rogue. HonMono is an absolute nincompoop and a genius combined in one body. This man is an ogre. He's like, I want to cheese that way. No, let's cheese him that way. He's just a bloody cheese lord who does the dumbest, craziest, smartest, silliest stuff you've ever seen in your life. And he's genuinely got massive holes in his game. He cheeses pretty much every time. And despite that, he keeps beating pro gamers. Like, every time he plays, even the top players in the world, he will take a map off them almost every time. It's crazy. They know he's going to cheese. They know it's coming. And he'll always at least take a map. And this is a best of 3 series, so we can see if he can take a map off Rogue here, or cause the rare upset where he just catches a pro gamer not on the top of their game and does some crazy stuff. Now, the reason I'm especially excited is it's TVZ versus Rogue. And whilst Rogue does have big openings in his TVZ, if he's playing someone like Beyond, who might kill him with a proxy racks, or micro submarines crazy well, focus down his banelings and catch Rogue being a bit too greedy, HonMono is playing a matchup that is based around fundamentals. Like, TVZ is all about your fundamentals, right? Like, it's hard to kind of surprise them with just one big cheeky cheese. Cheeky cheese? Chucky cheese? Yeah. So I really wonder, like, what do you even do as HonMono to give yourself a chance in this game? It's ZVT against a player who's a world-class Zerg. Yeah, he's not quite up there at the moment. Rogue still has some kind of work to do to round out his play, get back to his former level. But I mean, you're going 3 command centers, which doesn't feel good. Oh, he's going to float to the gold. Look at that command center placement, guys. He's going to float to the gold for his third base. He's going to go gold base 8 racks, I think. Not a bad build, man. Not a bad build. This could actually be awesome. Mono means monkey in Spanish. Well, he is Korean. HonMono, or Honorable Mono as his name is here. So I'm not quite sure. Honorable Monkey, maybe? He's like, you know, I'm an honorable monkey. You know I'm going to cheese, and I do it every time. Now, Rogue is up on 3 queens going on 4. Why does Rogue not have a 3rd hatchery? Can anyone explain this build order to me? What is Rogue's build order, guys? And now he's rushing a lair and a 2nd gas. Are we doing 4 queen 2 base muta? Oh, I didn't think this had been good for a while, but I guess it's very safe, you could argue. It's up against Mech. Oh my god, what are we seeing? Okay, so we're going to see super fast gold 3rd, 3cc greed. So we're going to see Mech Greed, which Rogue is now scouted, by the way. So Rogue should absolutely go for a Roach Warren. There's going to be Tech Lab Cyclones. Remember, Tech Lab Cyclones are a bit better versus Mutalisks. Reaper does go down. So you're definitely going to need to get a 3rd base and a Roach Warren. Rogue is just going 4 gas. He's going all out on the early Mutalisks. I feel like just taking a 3rd hatch and playing a normal game is like so good. But Rogue always wanted to take crazy risks. Blue Flame's coming in as well. There we go. There's that Roach Warren. He was just delaying it a little bit. Fair call, fair call. All right, Rogue on 43 workers, HonMono on 34. 4 gases already coming up for HonMono. He's on 69 potential supply. He's going to go out to the gold. 6 gases? There's no way you can support 6 gas this early. Oh, he never took his 2nd, right. So I guess it's only 5 gases. But no. I was like, yeah, you can't support that yet. He does cancel them now, realizing that's a bit too early. HonMono, I'm pretty sure, does make up his builds as he goes. Depot wall on that left side. He scans the main. He sees a finished lair. And we should know that this could be Mutalisks, which means get more factories, get Cyclones as quickly as possible. Because you've only got 1 tech lab. You need more tech labs ready. And you need to have at least 3 or 4 Cyclones when he first gets here. Now, double Evo chamber is going to come in. Rogue is expecting the 2 factory blue flames. So he kills the creep tumor to allow the 2nd Evo to go down. And he takes the 3rd base in the back. But the problem with this third base is it's only 4 minerals. This is what I refer to as the cuck base, guys, because it really feels like you're just sitting in the corner looking at a player who takes a real base, which is like this blue base here, or an absolutely real base. And right now, HonMono with a gold base fully mining right now against this sad little thing down here, it's kind of gross, man. You do not want to be in that position as the Zerg player. Spires coming in, though. The Mutas will get map control, and there's not many Cyclones out. Magfield and Cyclone production just now starting as the Spire's about to finish. First 5 Blue Flame Hellions coming forwards on the map. There are Hellions defending the third, though. HonMono even building turrets already. He's like, as long as I defend this gold base, I got this. That's what I love about a new map pool, a new season. 8 Mutalisks with +1. You know what's funny as well? Maps like this are maps that Rogue was one of the best players in the world back on this map pool. So he should have fond memories of this map. He should know exactly what to do here. And what I really love about HonMono is he's realizing, hey, I don't actually need to do damage. Normally HonMono would be psychotically aggressive, but he scouted a 2-base opening with no proper third base, just this very sad third base in the back. And he's like, oh, I actually can just turtle because I have a gold. I'm on 3 bases. Like, I'm on a pretty good economy. I could just make Cyclones and Hellions, defend the Mutaling, and then I have a better long-term comp than you because Lingbane Muta is really bad against mech. And yet Rogue is making a Baneling Nest. I guess to try to roll into the Cyclones. Widowmine's coming out as well. Plus turrets, plus Cyclones. Hellions scattered around these bases. Planetary on the third as well. He went a Planetary on his third. Oh my god, HonMono. Guys, Planetary on the third is one of the worst things you can ever do when you're, like, once you hit Diamond League, you usually are like, ooh, it's time to stop building a Planetary on my third. People will tell you, Planetary on the third loses you so much income because you don't have that orbital there gathering energy and dropping mules that it's so rough. Cyclones and turrets are ready. And almost gets the Mutalisk, but not quite. Hellion cleans up a Zergling in the middle of the map. Blue Flame. Oh, we canceled Blue Flame earlier. Now he's got Blue Flame and ISEC auto tracking on the way. Because that's what's important right now is those turrets having 7, or going from 7 to 8 range, isn't it? Muta's going to fly in. Does keep them alive. Nice Mutalisk micro for Rogue. Rogue right now all in on Mutaling Bane, it seems. He's taking a 4th base up front and he's starting to drone that behind the Mutalisks. This still seems bizarre to see someone playing Mutaling Bane like this. Does he realize it's a Planetary? These Banelings are just going to get hammered. Slow Baneling waddle by doesn't make a lot of sense against the Planetary Fortress, and HonMono quick to repair those turrets. Rogue, you'd be thinking he'd be going Roach speed and swapping into Roaches to have some sort of solid front line, but I think he's so worried about the Cyclones, he's saying, look, let's just surround with Massling Bane, crush the Cyclones. Yeah, that can work. Usually Fungal is the more common tool to deal with the Tech Lab Cyclone when it gets massed. And we're playing HonMono. HonMono's a guy who doesn't really transition off things as smoothly to late game as other players. Like, he'll just hang probably on Cyclone, Mine, Hellion all game. And the big problem here for Rogue is that Widowmine's hard counter Mutas and Lingbane. If you have a big bunch of Widowmines spread through a Hellion Cyclone army, it will destroy Mutaling. Mutaling works really well with Baneling surround if you hit just Hellions and Cyclones. But if there's a few Widowmine shots in there, it can ruin your day. Mutas do get locked onto. 1 Muta goes down. How many Hellions is this? 11 Hellions, 9 Cyclones, 4 Widowmines. All the Widowmines appear to be used defensively right now. He's going to break these rocks, which makes sense. The Cyclone's otherwise struggling to move through the Skibbity forests over here. The Zuma Town areas of the map. 2 of them in the middle of this map. Areas where you do not want to get caught with melee units, so Lingbane's going to struggle in those areas also. 79 workers for Rogue. He gets his own gold base coming up on the 5th. He's still going air upgrades, Burrow, +2 melee, no carapace or range upgrades, no roach speed, nothing but Lingbane Muta against mech. This is something, I always reference that show match when Raynor said, mech's so bad you can beat it with Lingbane Muta, even when they know it's coming. I made that bet, and of course, they hosted the show match, put some money down, and Marine Lord 4-0'd him with mech versus Lingbane Muta every game. And I was like, dude, don't get me wrong, you can surprise mech and beat it with Muta Lingbane. You can make it work occasionally, not when someone's going into the series knowing you're going to try and just Mutaling Bane or die trying. And that's what Rogue's doing right now. Mutas, 29 Mutas, 10 Banelings, 9 Zerglings. The Cyclone Hellion trying to kite back here. There aren't many Widowmines with this army. Widowmine does get taken out. Takes out 1 Mutalisk, make it 2. Nice catches here. You really want Widowmines guarding this army. If you get surrounded by Lingbane, you might be screwed. HonMono's up in army supply right now. The Cyclone's doing some lock-ons. Where are the Zerglings? Just fighting head-on with the Mutas. Rogue is crazy. What are you doing, Rogue? Going in with no Zerglings or Banelings. He's just trying to fight head-on Muta versus Cyclone. What the hell? Rogue with some disastrous decision-making. Units lost time. 2,700 resources in favor of HonMono. The whole point of playing Lingbane Muta is to surround with Zerglings and have the Zerglings tank the lock-ons, not the Mutalisks. That was a nonsensical engagement. One has to question what Rogue is thinking in this game. HonMono is like, dude, did I just take a gold base? I've got a 4th and a 5th up behind this, and now I'm just massing Cyclone Alien Widowmine. Pure battle mech. Rogue trying to fight this. Now he's swapping into the Lingbane. He's got a giant income, but it's all about, you don't need a giant income. You need to crush the engagement. This fight sucks. He's going to set off at least a few of the Widow Mines. This is a bad fight, though, Rogue. You need to surround this army. This is like 101 of fighting Battle Mech. Rogue was active before his military service against Battle Mech, and he seems to have forgotten how to deal with it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Rogue. You gotta be careful, bro. Are these Cyclones 3 supply, by the way, or 2? I absolutely forget how much supply they cost, guys. Baneling's not really getting anything. He should be counterattacking with Lingbane or cutting off the reinforce or looking for that surround, but he keeps attacking front on. Rogue here. What is this engagement? HonMono's like, dude, Rogue's playing like a nincompoop right now. He's absolutely able to just kite him to death. The Widowmines, the Cyclones doing so well. The units lost time. What are these engagements from Rogue? These Widowmines on the right side haven't even been cleaned up. He's got overseers, but he's not cleaning them up. Rogue just keeps expanding and sitting on 88 workers, but he's way down in supply right now. This is crazy. People are saying this Cyclone is actually 3 supply, whereas the other one was 2. That does make sense since the Cyclone is way better, but I mean, it destroys a Mutalisk so hard head to head. What is this fight? Rogue, you got to give up bases and surround. You can't just run into him. This is literally the example. Every time for the last 5 years with the old Cyclone, someone would say, how do I beat the Cyclone? I'd say, send me a replay. This would be what the replay would look like. And I'd say, okay, Platinum League Barry. Instead of just chasing the Cyclones, split your army in 2 and get them from 2 sides. I don't know if Rogue's been hitting the Soju or what, guys. This is appallingly bad trading, 6,000 to 15,000. The Cyclone is a long-range fighter that's very fast. High damage, long range, it's a glass cannon. If you ever get this around, it will get shut down. Finally, Rogue goes for a flank, and he's going to get his first decent fight of the entire game. Imagine if he did this 5 minutes ago when he wasn't down 40 army supply. He's still chasing, though. He's got to stop chasing. He's going to try and clean up these Widowmines with the Mutalisks. Rogue finally gets his first good fight of the entire game. Absolute madness. I mean, this is crazy because the old Cyclone Battle Mech style, it was so good for so long, but over the years, people figured out how to deal with it. It's so rare to see someone stay on Battle Mech. It's a good opening to get a 4th base up, but you're meant to swap into traditional mech units. He's got Ravens. What's he got Ravens for, ladies and gentlemen? Can anyone explain the Raven to me? Is that to stop burrowed Banelings? Is that all? Because anti-armor missile does not affect the Cyclone's lock-on damage at all. Auto turrets aren't very good anymore. What the hell? Changelings in the army there also. +2 plating coming in. Remember, attack doesn't really help the Cyclone, but armor does, which is why he's going plating. And he's just going to keep sieging towards this gold base, which already went down in this game. Rogue is so far behind. He's still making nothing but Mutiling Bane. No infestors. Once again attacking front on with no attempt to flank. I mean, this is the reason why people would bring up Rogue's inconsistency in that old GOAT debate a few months ago. And the Rogue fanboys are saying, no, he's so good, he's so reliable, he's so consistent. You see games like this every other week from Rogue against players who aren't even full-time pros, like HonMono. Just likes to hop on and cheese people for fun. Cyclone's coming in with the Widowmines. He's taking out this hatchery. I mean, the units lost up still 2-1 even after that good fight. The Cyclone is so expensive, so fragile, so slow to build these Cyclones because you need a tech lab factory for each one to be produced. It's so good. Every time it's shooting and pulling back. Shooting and pulling back is the Cyclone's dream state. And as we know, StarCraft, there's a lot of situations where people have like an orgasmic sort of pure combat situation that they're looking for, right? With Cyclones, it's this. With Lingbane, you want to surround your opponent's army. With Mutas, it's harassing around the back line, picking off things without ever fighting their army front on. But what we're seeing in this is 2 polar opposites. A Lingbane army that's never surrounding, and a Muta army that's always fighting front on rather than counterattacking, into an army that's just kiting backwards, outranging everything, taking almost no damage. It's basically pure Cyclone with a few Widowmines at this point. And Rogue finally, for the first time in this game, is going to realize maybe counterattacking might be a good idea. This is crazy. HonMono just playing full battle mech. The Widowmines! Oh my. What? That's GG. That is we got to instant replay that. Did he just run into 2 Widowmines? Was that? How many Widowmines was that? We rewound a little bit. I think it was just 1. Just one Widow Mine of Doom, was it? Oh my god, just one Widow Mine of Doom and enough Cyclones to lock onto every single Mutalisk because no Lings engage. You always want the Lings to engage first. Take all the lock-ons so that the Mutalisks have a chance to do damage. Rogue gets absolutely flattened by HonMono in game 1. Well, guys, I don't know what we just witnessed, but that was ridiculous. Rogue playing 2 base Muta rather than a standard style. Not advisable against a crazy person like HonMono. But like I said, Rogue the kind of crazy cat to just flip a coin, even when he's heavily favored. He doesn't hedge his odds very often. And he would do this all the time versus Protoss, right? Back in the day. Because Rogue is so all in against Protoss with a lot of his builds. You'd see him playing... I'm trying to think, who's a Protoss like Hurricane or something like that? Like a Protoss who he's like so heavily favored versus. And he'd just do the craziest gamble. And like Hurricane would like shut it down and Rogue would be out in the round of 32 of GSL. And you'd be like, oh, that's weird. It's a bit funny, the edge of this map, guys. The rocks are a little bit floaty. All right, the spawning pool is building underneath the rocks. We'll see how that looks once the spawning pool finishes. I think the spawning pool will be on top. But this is a pool first build for Rogue up against HonMono, who's not walling off with his barracks. Now, you might wonder, why is HonMono not walling off? And I'd be able to explain that if the things that HonMono did ever made sense. But they don't. He doesn't even pull the worker to the inside of the gas there. He just kind of plays his own style, does his own thing. Should be queuing up one more SCV. He does. And it is a hatchery after the pool, and then a quick gas right after. Now, Rogue, it looks like he's going to go for a 6 Zergling pressure into a Roach push on a big map. Once again, a super bad map for this. It's a really big map. So you could argue this is a terrible opening because they're going to take forever to get across the map. And he's going to go Roach Warren right afterwards into Roaches. So Rogue is once again, he's down a game and he's gambling on extreme aggression, which don't get me wrong, it can pay off. But why do we gamble on this against someone who's way lower level than us? I mean, on such a big map, you could say, well, people aren't going to bother SCV scouting, therefore it's a safer gamble, because if people don't SCV scout, this build is just better, right? It looks like my observing hotkeys aren't working, so I'm going to have to go to hold down Control F when I want to follow. Fair enough. Yeah, if you're in a best of 5, you've got games to spare, sure. But if this doesn't work out, especially with that high ground wall off, HonMono, I mean, this seems like such a dumb opening. Who the hell goes high ground wall off? HonMono does. It's HonMono. The guy does random stuff all the time. He just like walls off on the high ground. This is so good for him because the Lings aren't going to do anything now. There's a Marine behind the wall off. You could build a reactor. And this is just shut down before it even gets going. This is such a problem for Rogue. He can't do anything. Reaper comes in and he's going to be like, oh, you don't have any drones here? And immediately you just build a bunker on the high ground and go for like a Cyclone. Okay, we got one SCV. Good choice to sacrifice a Zergling to get that SCV, hoping it, pulls into the dangerous position, but sees the Roaches, confirms that bunker does go down. HonMono misclicks it, but then recorrects that with the Reaper and pulls that away to safety. So with the bunker on the high ground, he's going to be able to go Marine production. Factory should lift off and build its own tech lab. You wouldn't want to put the factory on the reactor. That wouldn't make sense. There we go. Yeah, Marines are building. Command center can make it orbital. I mean, HonMono's in such a good spot. Second gas, I would argue, is a little bit early here because he's already built a third command center and he's cutting a lot of worker production right now. So HonMono could be getting way further ahead if he keeps building workers. He's not building workers at all right now. He's already missed 2 workers of production. He's microing his Reaper. No SCV production will give Rogue a chance to get back in this game, even though these Roaches are going to achieve nothing. 5 Roaches, 1 Ravager. I mean, if he's lucky, he can kill a depot or 2. Overlord is coming further forward, but there's 3 Marines in a bunker. It's pretty good DPS, man. And with the Cyclone, that should be able to pick off the Overlord. So he'll be lucky to kill 1 single depot Rogue, trying to macro up behind this. Don't get me wrong, you can still recover from this as Rogue, but like you really need to get some damage here. First depot's going down. No SCVs still building for HonMono. HonMono, oh my god, HonMono's just not building SCVs, guys. He hasn't built SCVs for like a minute. He's already missed 5 workers. There's actually a lot of damage coming because HonMono's just trying to focus on like gas mining and Marine and Cyclone production. He's not focusing on his workers at all. And Cyclone is going to be able to pick this off. Get some really good damage with the floating command center. Doesn't quite kill the Overlord, but he pushes it back far enough. And actually, he gets it. No, the Overlord barely survives on 3 hit points. HonMono finally restarts SCV production, guys. He missed like a minute and a half of SCV production while doing a 3 command center build. That is crazy. He scans. He sees the natural mining. Rogue can easily recover from this now. I think this is actually fine for Rogue. It shouldn't be, but it is. Uh-oh. He is staying on this side of the map a bit long. The Marines and the Cyclones could do some good damage. The Overlord, you can see, is trying to escape to the south. He should probably pull that off to the edge of the map. Otherwise, the Cyclones might get it when they come forward. Cyclone gets itself a kill. And he's going to kill another one. Two Roach kills do go down. Third Cyclone was building, but it looks like he cancels it and builds a Banshee instead. Overlord, like I said, does get left in the open. Bit of a mistake there for Rogue. He should have immediately moved it to the left, but it goes down. Ling speed's on the way, though. Rogue's planning round 2. He's planning round 2. It's another Ravager Ling all in, but he's losing his Ravagers on the way home. And there is a safety Banshee building. He's gambling on HonMono, just getting caught with his pounds down. Rogue could have transitioned this into a normal game, but look at how much damage he's taking to these Cyclones. He's trying to hide his all in right now. He's sneaking Lings out of the side, but that means he's going to take even more damage. This hatchery going to take some damage as well. Bunch of Marines. If he keeps the bunker on the high ground, which HonMono does, he might be okay here. Orbital hasn't made on the third. HonMono is just focusing on the Cyclone right now. Those Marines are in the open. The bunker sells. Oh no, HonMono could be in trouble. I think Rogue might just catch him out with this surprising all-in. Another Ravager goes down. I really thought he'd need all the Roaches and Ravagers on the front though. Guys, where's the Ravagers? He's going in with Zerglings, but nothing else. Hellions and Marines are together. HonMono, a little slow on the Hellion Micro, but that's okay. He actually keeps the units alive. And he shuts down this random wave of Zerglings. Rogue right now is doing very random stuff. Engineering Bay, emergency wall-off starts to go down. Hellions going to chase these Lings down. There's 4 Roaches coming across the map, but it's going to take them forever to get over here. Rogue is doing some of the most random stuff ever against HonMono. And I gotta say, it is making the game unpredictable and fun. Of course, HonMono's answer to this is, I'm gonna go Blue Flame and Banshee speed. Cloaks for losers. Let's just get Banshee speed, which is funny as heck. I love that he's doing that. So he's gonna keep building Banshees, Hellions, trying to get Cyclones. He's gonna build a 4th command center. The guy who's not building workers out of all of his command centers right now is going to build a 4th command center. HonMono on 39 workers is like, that's what I need right now. It's a 4th CC. Hellion's going to get surrounded by Zerglings. 2 of them do go down immediately. He should just be running. You shouldn't be stopping to attack, I don't think. HonMono's going to try to get as many shots off as he can. Gets those surrounded, though. Lings come in for the surround. Uh-oh. Ravager Ling catches him unprepared. And that's a big problem, guys. There's 2 Banshees on the map. But these SCVs already taking a walloping. Banshees need to try and defend the ramp. He should be repairing those depots as best he can. Banshees take down a Ravager. A couple of Bios land on 1 of those. The Ravager's very low. Only 1 Ravager left. As long as you keep the repair up, you're good. The Ravagers are gone. And without the Ravagers, you can't do anything. Please lift this command center, though. 19 workers went down. Oh, HonMono. I know you've got a 4th command center, but come on, please. HonMono, no! He's too distracted here. He does a supply drop to save a depot. He did a supply drop to stop the Lings getting out, and he loses a command center while focusing on that. HonMono. But he's like, it's fine. This is why I built a 4th command center. This is StarCraft, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Rogue is the real GOAT. It's because Sarah would never have a game like this. He'd never do it for the fans and play some sloppy StarCraft like this. But Rogue is like, you guys want unpredictable StarCraft? I'll give you unpredictable StarCraft. Overlord speed is on the way right now. He's going to follow up with a German taxi. He's going to go for round 3 of Ravager Ling Queen, but he's going to bring Queens in a Dropper Lord, guys. I kid you not. Rogue is actually a crazy person. He's like, you know what? I could play safe like a normal person, or I could keep trying to kill the guy. It's like, just go to 70 workers and get a free win. Rogue's like, that's what a loser would do, not me. HonMono scans him. He sees Roaches popping out. HonMono is going to be aware of what's happening, at least to a certain extent. Banshee's able to isolate a Queen. Not committing, though. That's probably the wise call. Cyclones are building. It's 3 factories. Still back to 39 workers versus 46. He's going to try and build 2 more factories here. Doesn't have any bunkers or anything, which is always tough. And with only 4 Hellions, you really need to keep these Blue Flame Hellions alive to stop the Lings. Otherwise, you can end up in big doo-doo. 3 Banshees, 4 Hellions. It does feel like Rogue should be able to finish him off here. The question is, where's the German taxi, guys? There it is. 4 Queens coming through the middle of the map in an Overlord. He should have an Overseer. Yeah, Overseer. As long as he doesn't lose the Overseer, I think he's good. The question is, if he can mass repair the Banshees and dodge the Bios, he might be able to kill the Queens. Because, he doesn't have a 4th Banshee building. That's unfortunate. Oh, the Overseer! The Overseer goes down. The Overseer goes down. Rogue throws away his only detection. He's got another one, but it's halfway back across the map, which means the Banshees. There's no answer to the Banshees. Rogue continues to commit. He drops a Queen on the low ground and the high ground, losing them instantly before he can even drop Overlord creep to transfuse. Oh my lord. This is an absolute hot mess of an attack right now. It's only a matter of time. Wait, the Banshees don't have cloak. Oh, I forgot that the Banshees don't even have cloak yet. It's 30 seconds till cloak gets here. It doesn't even matter. Pig's an idiot. Cyclones are going down right now, as are the Hellions. It's all about Banshees versus Queens. He needs to repair the Banshees, lift his third command center this time, hopefully, though it's not getting focused, so maybe it doesn't matter. Hellions are rallying into their death. The Cyclones, if he can lock onto the Queens with the Cyclones, that could be so huge. The Banshee micro is actually really good for HonMono right now. Queens are spreading creep out front the base. The Ravage is actually getting chipped away at. The Queens can't really move off creep very well, so he's got to sit back here as Rogue. Rogue's still building Queens and Zerglings right now. This is one of the most hilariously brain damaged games of StarCraft I've ever seen. He lost the second Overseer, by the way. It did die to those Cyclones. Cloak's about to finish. Hellion Cyclone on the ramp. Oh, Blue Flame's looking pretty juicy there. He piles his own Zerglings. Cloak comes in and he says, yeah, mother trucker. That's right, the Overseer morphing, but it's not going to be able to morph in time. The Cyclone's coming on the ramp. Nice pullbacks. The Banshee's going to take out the Ravages. And oh my lord, what a game of StarCraft we are watching. This is, by the way, I don't even know if I introduced it. This is the Oli League, guys. This is like, Oli League is delivered some of the most high-octane, high-level StarCraft we've ever seen in the last month. And I love that it's starting December in style. You know, it's a month for giving, generosity, Christmas, spirit and cheer, I was going to say. I turned it into cheer it. And HonMono and Rogue are delivering one of the dumbest games of StarCraft I've cast in a while. Rogue still, he's like, you know what? I guess I'll drone if I have to. I'm like, are you even injecting right now? Like, what are you doing? It's like he's playing a Silver League player and he's up 1-0 and he just wants to finish the series. So he's just, but his cat's jumping on his keyboard and his power keeps going out. So he's just kind of doing random stuff. But like he's down 1-0 and this game's dangerously close against a player who is, no offense to HonMono because he is a good player, but like he's nowhere near Rogue's caliber. You're a former world champion, man. Rogue's gonna get baited off creep. Rogue, what are you doing? The drone keeps trying to take the fourth. His queens have just been baited off creep. Dude, is he gonna lose his fourth hatchery? The Spore Crawlers, no. HonMono is just driving around. Rogue, how much soju did we drink before this tournament, bro? This is hilarious. He can't get a fourth up. He's trying to go Hydras and Hive for Vipers. HonMono is barely even building workers behind this. He's supply blocked, but he's doing so much damage that HonMono's absolutely average macro is more than enough against a Rogue who just isn't really macroing himself. Rogue is on 53 workers, locked on a low economy, trying to swap in a Hydraling. And now there's Cyclones on the front, picking off free Overlords, which are just everywhere. The chaos is tangible in this match. Cyclones, Rogue thinks he's surrounding them, but it's a trap, man. Get out of there, Rogue. Oh my god, Rogue is in so much trouble. HonMono with the fourth command center while not building SCVs for like 4 minutes in this game. I wish we had an idle worker time stat. In Age of Empires, one of the most important stats to see how good someone is at constantly building workers is idle town center time. And honestly, I feel like HonMono has had like 14 minutes of idle command center town when spread across all of the 4 command centers he's built this game. Despite that, he's finding damage. He's defending the all-in attacks from Rogue. And the Banshees coming in. There's no detection again. The Banshees are shredding the Hydras. The Cyclones are kiting. No way. No way. Rogue is gonna tap out, and HonMono 2-0 Rogue in the round of 16 of the Oli League. That's peak StarCraft right there. What a game. 39 SCVs go down. Only 7 drones, and in a 13-minute game, Rogue is still down 10 workers. That's some real StarCraft right there. I hope you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, whoever it was who recommended this match. I think a few of you did. They said, you should check out HonMono Rogue, and I was like, I'm always down to cast a HonMono match. Let's see. I was like, oh, maybe he takes a map here. Turns out, he doesn't just take a map. He wins a series 2-0. 2-1 would have been astonishing. 2-0 is just WTF. Well played, HonMono. Hats off to you, bud.